Hey everyone, and welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. My name is Nisse, and today I'm gonna build a habitat for this beautiful platypus. Or so I thought. First of all, I did plan to get this video out on the 12th in the evening, a few hours after my capybara episode. But I was one of the lucky people which game decided to crash with the new update. So I just made the capybara habitat and everything worked fine, and then I started on this platypus and everything just went bad. So the video I'm gonna show you today will still be of the platypus habitat with a really nice restaurant, if I may say so myself. But there will be missing a bit of footage, and because my game keep crashing, there might be something you're gonna see twice. But I think I have edited so it looks how it should. But if there's something you see, for instance, there are fence which I just don't have footage of me building. So I hope you will bear with me and enjoy this habitat with a restaurant for this beautiful platypus. And let me start by telling you a tiny bit about the platypus. I will say though, I did pre-record this part of the video, so I would be able first of all to have some knowledge before building the habitat, but also that I could hopefully get this video out to you hopefully a bit faster. So please bear with me if there's something I don't know yet about the animal. Let's get started. The platypus is a weird animal. I don't think anyone would say anything different about that. In Danish we call it næbdyr, which translate as big animal. I know Rudy Camel also have said that in German it's also big animal. I don't know if it's just an European thing that we just kind of gave up on this animal. For me personally, I did believe it to be a fairy tale animal, mainly because all of my knowledge about it is either for one of these kids how to learn to read books when I was a little child, and later on in Phineas and Ferb, and that's all I know about it before researching here. So hopefully I got it all, but I kind of have a feeling that there's more weird stuff about this animal I don't know. To make sure I understood most of the info I read, I both used a Danish website called scienceku.dk, and I used an English website called environment. A lot of stuff. They will both be linked below, of course, and I will say there's a few things I chose not to bring because I just couldn't understand quite what they meant. So hopefully I can teach you a bit here, but otherwise please do your own research because it's a real funny animal. It is an egg-laying animal, but it is still a mammal, and as we know, mammals produce milk to their babies. So there's a lot to get into, but let's just start with the physical. The male platypus can be up to 50 centimeters long, which would be roughly 19.5 inch, and weigh up to 1.5 kilo, which is 3.3 pounds. Really small animals. I kind of thought it was the same size as a dog, but clearly not. And then I will say the female is smaller, so that's only 40 centimeters, being 15.7 inch, and up to 1 kilo, meaning 2.2 pounds. It has this beak, which I'm pretty sure most people who have seen even a picture of a platypus can see. But it should apparently be like a kind of soft, wet rubber to touch, and it have no teeth inside of the beak. Its coat is thick but flat, which means it's waterproof, and its fur is brown. It has this really short but flat tail, kind of like a beaver, but it do use it for more than just swimming. It uses it when it making a burrow, but it actually also use it as a fat storing place, which help them if they need to produce more heat or something like that. Then they have this reserve of fat. And then they have this skin between their toes, which help them swim. They need to have this constant heat at least 32 degrees Celsius. And to do that, they do use this fat in their tail to kick up the heat production system. On each of its ankles, they have a spur, a sharp spur. I don't know what it's how to pronounce this. It's kind of like a claw, which is built with poison. And this poison will be stronger during the mating season. So therefore, it kind of points to the fact that the males actually use these spores or claws to fight other males during this period. They lived in eastern Australia, and it's all the way from the tropic North Queensland to the freezing snow of Tasmania. And just fun fact here, the Danish crown princess is actually from Tasmania. I don't know if you wanted to know that, but now you know them. They live in rivers, streams, and always close to the coast. They make a burrow in or near freshwater creeks, wherever there's slow-moving water. And they make these burrows real low and close to the water, so they don't have to move too much around land. So during the day, the platypus would mainly be in the water, in the burrow, in the water, in the burrow. They don't like to walk too much around on ground, also because they are pretty vulnerable on land, where in the water they are much more flexible and fast moving, kind of like penguins, if penguins have poison. But they have a mating season, and during this mating season they mate, of course, and after that the female make a nesting burrow, which is different from a regular burrow, because the regular burrows is just I need to sleep and relax there. This nesting burrow have some more criteria. For instance, it can be up to 30 meters long. And kind of try to picture this. You're pregnant and you have to dig out your own home, which would be 30 meters. You're not even a meter yourself. At this point, you're less than half a meter. But they do this, which kudos to them. Amazing. And then when it's time to lay their eggs, they actually block out the entrance, both to protect them from predators, but also from the water, because they build these burrows really close to the water. So if the water level rises, then it won't flood the burrow, but also that it keeps in the heat and the humidity, which kind of make this incubating room for the platypus. But she lays these eggs, and they are only 17 millimeters, not centimeters, millimeters, which is less than my pinky. I'm pretty sure some people have pinkies that's smaller, but my pinky is wider than 1.7 millimeters as a platypus egg. She incubates these eggs for 2 weeks, and after this the eggs cracks and the newborn gets out, and they are naked, they are blind, and they have undeveloped limbs. Kind of like bunnies, except they're not from eggs, but kind of that idea of this naked, undone fetus being born. As the babies still are clearly unable to take care of anything themselves, they just stay with their mama in this burrow, where they suck on the mom's memory patches, not nipples, but memory patches, which will stimulate her milk production, and the milk will go through the skin. Again, not a nipple, just go through the skin, through the fur, so the babies can kind of lick it up there. When the babies get a bit bigger, the mom will open the burrow again and go out and foraging, which she will do more and more of, also to motivate the kids to want to leave the burrow at some point. And they will do that around the age of 4 months. And at 1 year old, they will be adult themselves and able to start mating. The environment sites of the two, I used the English one. It actually have this section, I thought it was fun to mention, called Common Cases of Mistaken Identity, where they mention water rats, turtles, water dragons. So people would either see one of these and think it's a platypus, or see a platypus and think they were one of these, which is kind of funny because looking at a picture of a platypus, I don't think I would ever think it was anything else, but they are really, really shy animals, so maybe you just saw it plump down the water or something in the corner of your eye. You didn't clearly see it, so you would probably think it was something else that would be more easy to see in nature. 100 years ago, the platypus was hunted, but now they are protected and you can't hunt them anymore legally anyway. But the main concern the platypus is that pollution, algal growth, siltation, and destruction of the creek banks and plants around them it clearly just destroys the home of the platypus. So the platypus would either have to move, which they don't really do because they need the water. And furthermore, they are also hunted by snakes, water rats, guananas, foxes, and crocodiles. So they didn't really pick the longest straw there, but they're still here and they are amazing. And for me, they're really one of these things where nature took a weird turn, but they're kind of amazing. And again, I pre-record this part, so I'm really looking forward to making the habitat now. Of course, you already see some of that. I really think I can make a much better habitat now than I feel like I could do before I did all of this research. So I really hope you learned something, and I'll get starting this build. And I'm back, guys. I really hope you learned a lot. I definitely did. As I said, I didn't know much about what the platypus actually were before reading all of this. So I really think it inspired a big part of my build. I will say though that I did see Leaf Productions platypus build before I started my own, and it also inspired me a bit. I don't think that I stole his idea or anything like that, because this is completely different from what he built. But it is, he mentioned, for instance, a restaurant, which made me want to build a restaurant. And all of the info I got also completely changed my idea, because I kind of felt like it would be, I would build like a sandy beach and then the water would just be a part of it. But by reading the fact that the platypus not really like to be on land at all, changed my mind and just made this water part the biggest part, and then just make the beach as a nice view from the restaurant. So it isn't actually supposed to be like you go up to the restaurant to see the platypus, because you mostly wouldn't, but just have a nice view while you enjoy your lunch or dinner. There's basically two ways you can build a pool area. The one is the most used one probably is the one that it would be cheapest to make, which was dig a hole and make the pool there. I went with the more expensive option. In real life it would be more expensive anyway, but it would be easier to do upkeep because you don't have to. If for some weird reasons you have issue at the bottom of the pool, then you wouldn't have to dig up beneath the pool. Then you can just fix it from the outside. So I kind of imagine that you would have a way inside this stone area. The only reason I chose to build it all in terrain was because I wanted the water blocking effect of it. As you know, Planet Zoo water really don't work the same way as real water. Normally it would be enough just to build the concrete, but that's not the rule of water in this game. So I needed something to block it, and I couldn't use the glass fence all the way around because then the game would think that the platypus was escaping all the time. I do enjoy building these 2-story buildings, and sometimes I do use the other way with the water where I lower the terrain and build like a basement, but here I just thought it would be amazing to get this view up here. Also, here when I build, you can't see the next habitat. I will see, as you can see, and at the end you wouldn't be able to see in everything behind this because it is too big for that. You can see here. But I do think that it would be really kind of pretty and cute to sit up here when we get built more of the zoo. And I do plan of having more like a children area near to here. I haven't mapped it completely out in my head yet, but I have an idea about what I want to build. I just feel like we need somewhere we can teach kids, because teaching adults in zoos is quite easy, but even though you have these what they call these speakers, where with the education speakers place, then most kids wouldn't just care to listen at all. They would more just run around and want to see the animals. So I do have a plan that we're gonna try to make children one of these educational touch and smell and hear different kind of things to educate children. But I have the idea, but I don't have the plan yet. And with the new Wetlands DLC, we have a lot of animals to play with right now. So it will come further down the line, but it isn't right now. I will say though, this game says you can have 1 male and 2 females in a habitat. My habitat is clearly big, and it's actually, I think it's roughly is the requirement the platypus have. I am in sandbox mode, so I can cheat if I want to. But it is really hard to see only 3 that small animals in a habitat. So I did cheat and place, I think we have at this point I only have the 3, but later before the cinematics I add 4 more females and 1 extra male, also because I wanted to show you some babies. And I will say I'm kind of disappointed. They are cute, the babies, but they're not these amazing small creatures. I kind of wanted them to be these pink naked things as when they're, or maybe just see the eggs in the burrow. That would be amazing. But no, they give born just as a smaller platypus. There really isn't the biggest difference, which I kind of feel is sad. I think there are a problem with the new burrows. Maybe I'm not sure, but maybe Frontier chose to remove the new update because of a lot of us had crashes with it. But But I have issue with the new burrow because as you saw, I built a custom burrow which you would have in the zoo, so the keepers would have like a door in there so they could keep it clean and keep an eye on the young. But then I added a small burrow inside the burrow, you can see here, to because the platypus need the burrow to reproduce. Though I in real life you would only have the custom build, of course, but I had a issue because I wanted a screen where you could see inside the small burrow, and you can't do that, and I couldn't either. You saw I put a camera up in the custom burrow, and I can't make that work on the screens either. So I kind of think that they removed the new update, because I'm pretty sure, as I understood the new update, you would be able to put the camera in there in either the TV screens or the educational boards. And as you saw, I tried with all three of them and nothing worked. I did go over here, you can see it was the pygmy hippo upper viewing point where you actually could see all of this backstage area. So I kind of just worked with these stones, constantly going back and check how much I need to add, because as you can see also there are color difference in the stones, which isn't that big of a problem. It kind of look natural, I think, from the pygmy hippo. It's also kind of a long way away. But I just wanted to fix it, so here you can see it just kind of looks like a rocky mountain. And over here you can see you can't see anything on the other side of that. Then I just checked they can go everywhere. And then here I wanted to make sure that they were able to go down. And stupid me, if you look up in the top, I am in the tab with the travel area, but I am on the staff traversable area, which means the staff would never be able to reach the water, which means all the work here I do with the stones to make the platypus be able to go down there probably is a waste of time, because again, I can see the platypus is able to go there, I can only see the staff. But that's pretty much all from me today, guys. I will be back in a few minutes. Until that, I really hope you will enjoy this cinematic. So guys, I really hope you liked it. I am so proud of this habitat. I really love it. And I really think with the knowledge I have now of the platypus that this habitat fits platypus real well actually. So yeah, you know the drill. Like, subscribe and turn off the bell of notification so you are notified the next time I upload a video. I really hope to see you again either in the comments below or in the next video. Bye!